Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the latest in the podcast series looking at the characters of Secrets of the Damned, especially the Kirk, which is the first novel in the series. We're sitting down with author Jim A. Shaw this morning. Maxwell Slipp, or Max Slipp, very, very important character in the Kirk. Jim, can you describe Max's or Maxwell's importance in the first book in the series?
Max is the moral high ground character. I always have a moral high ground character, a fellow that is like a compass. Everyone can set their bearings to him. And this is Max. He's a happily married member of the Woodstock Police Department. He's practical minded and pragmatic man. He's raised by his grandparents, and they were deeply religious. So some of this is rubbed off on him.
Now, when we talk deeply religious, are we talking Protestant, Catholic?
Oh, they were Baptist.
Oh, Baptist. Heavy Baptist, which is very prevalent in Carleton County. If you'd like to expand on his religious leanings a bit and how it shapes his character.
Well, he calls them the doctrines of Graham. Their views that his grandmother had on the world in which she lived, and it influenced him to a great deal. A lot to the point where all through the book, he doesn't believe what Jack and John are saying about the monster. He believes the guy is just insane, and he's a murderer. He's a real bad dude that a lawman with a gun and handcuffs can take care of. But he's ordered by the chief to become Jack's best friend, so to speak, because it has to do with an incident that happens with Jack's car. Convinces the police department that the killer either knows Jack or vice versa. So Jack decides to welcome the policeman into the fold, because Jack's kind of leery about cops, but he soon realizes that this Maxwell Slipp doesn't have the atypical Christ complex that most cops have these days. So they become fast friends, and Jack always takes him in his confidence, although Max is always quick to say, hold her now, that just doesn't wash with what I was religiously taught by my grandmother and my religion, so we're just going to have to, you can believe what you want, but I'm going to stick with the truth, and I'm going to bring this guy in and put him in jail and see that justice is served.
So is he in his 40s, in his 50s? Describe his physicality.
Max is in his 50s. And Jack would be in his 40s.
Yeah. Now, Max Slipp seems to be a type of person that wants to uphold the common ground or the positive ground of Woodstock. His relationship with Jack Stevens and the other people, how does it evolve in the book without giving too much away?
Well, like I said, he's the extreme doubter, but he is Michelangelo's David. He's locked inside that big block of marble, and John and Susan and Jack and circumstances that happen around chip and chip and chip away all the marble until you've got David,
yes,
the new Max Slipp, who, towards the end of it, of course, believes these guys because of what he's witnessing, and this throws him into a moral dilemma because he's having a crisis of consciousness or conscience, because he's thinking, this is all real. So if this is real, it blows all my previous beliefs out of the water. So he's trying to make these two things work and cohabitate together in his mind. He has a difficult time doing it.
Now, what's very interesting about the last name of the character, for me anyway, because I've been a reporter for Woodstock for more than 3 decades, the use of the word last name Slipp. Slipp is a very, very well-respected family in the Carleton County region. Jim, you can talk about the kind of the usage of their last name as a tribute to the family.
Well, one of the Vandenberg house, the second novel, which is now called Forbidden Dreams, is based on 2 houses in Woodstock, and one of the houses is Art Slipp's house.
Mayor Slipp, yes.
And I think he's a super guy.
We all do.
And I would say subconsciously his name wound its way into the story.
But any coincidence is purely coincidental.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, because Art, if anything, is a politician through and through, a good gentleman. But the Slipp family as well, because they're important in commerce and sports and different locales in the region. And when you say Slipp, you think Woodstock.
Sure do, yeah.
Yeah, and Grant as well, and all the great families. So as the character goes along, that it's an important piece to the whole puzzle of the Kirk. Any last thoughts on for our listeners about Slipp and what they can await in the Kirk without giving it away?
Well, every character leads into other characters, right? You have Jack meets John. John introduces Jack to Susan,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now we've got Max, who meets Jack, of course, because of circumstances with his car.
Yes.
So Max, of course, we know has been assigned the case of these crazy murders, and he's also been assigned the case of these crazy grave robbings, which has been going on in conjunction. So as frustrated as he gets, he keeps thinking to himself, "Well, I can't make any headway." So he reluctantly enlists the next character to
Which
help him,
we'll be talking about in the next podcast.
and her name is Linda Kidney.
So, Jim, thanks a lot this morning for another great interview. The character podcasts are available on our YouTube channel under my name, JJ Governor Courier, and the links will also be put up on Jim's Shaw's Facebook, and also the Secrets of the Damned group. Hope this finds you well, and as we like to say in Woodstock, be the Kirk. Goodbye.